Hello and welcome to the first video of a series that will be going over Mabinogi's different improvement systems. My name is Avanrin, and I will be providing what I believe to be the most effective method for starting Mabinogi's various projects for power. From skills, to Arcana, to Echostones, and more, Mabinogi has plenty of different ways to get stronger. In this first video, we will be giving a general overview of the different systems and roughly when a good time to start each one is. Every journey starts with a choice, and for this particular journey, choosing what combat style you want to use is going to be our first step. Mabinogi has a lot of different combat styles to offer, from your traditional warrior, mage, and archer, to some more unique options such as gunslinger, ninja, alchemist, puppeteer, martial artist, chain slasher, even lance-wielding knights. Each combat style has its own strengths and weaknesses, so I would suggest choosing one that sounds the most interesting to you to get started with. Thankfully, during the tutorial that you do with Tin, you can try out different combat styles and get an idea of how they each play and feel. After you have chosen a combat style that you like, I would strongly encourage both new and returning players to start working on the Blaned's Brave Boost questline. This starts with a guide quest called A Blue Fragrance on the Wind, and functions as a slightly more elaborate tutorial which rewards you with things such as additional inventory space, increasing your total level, and new weaponry to use. Later quests in the Brave Boost questline will also award some of the more difficult to obtain skills such as Ice Spear, Final Hit for humans, Mirage Missile for elves, and Stampede for giants. At some point while doing the Brave Boost questline, you will be unlocking the Potential system. It's a small system that was added to encourage players to continue to level up, providing free rebirth potions as well as a few stat points that you can allocate however you'd like. Once you have progressed far enough into the Brave Boost questline to have obtained the Loot of Blossoming Memories, I would suggest getting started on the Renown system. There are two major types of Renown, one being more based off of playing music in Mabinogi, while the other is more based off of using life skills to gather and craft items. The two music Renown to focus on specifically are going to be the Nele and the Ivona Renown, providing increased critical hit chance and critical hit damage respectively. All three of the life Renown are important to increase since Endoyon will provide increased mana, Eddern will provide increased health, and Eluned will provide increased stamina. Hovering over any of the portraits of the Renown NPCs in your character sheet will provide a list of tasks that can help improve your reputation with them over time. After getting started with the Renown system, you will be at the level needed to have received another new quest called an Astronomical Discovery. Completing this and the following quest will award you with an item called Stardust. Stardust is a form of equipment that provides some passive bonuses to help you deal damage and reduce damage taken. Due to how long it can take to get the full benefits of Stardust, I suggest taking it on as early as possible so you can get the best benefits possible for you as you continue to get stronger, instead of rushing for it to be completed once you're already a high level. After continuing on with the Brave Boost questline, you will eventually come to learn of spirit weapons. I strongly suggest adding a spirit, or ego as the community tends to call them, to your preferred weapon. Similar to Stardust, it can be time consuming to get the full benefits out of a spirit weapon, but they will always provide a benefit to your strength either by adding more damage or altering some of your skill behaviors. Once you have your newfound spirit weapon in hand, I would suggest working on skills that support your preferred combat style. There is no one-size-fits-all answer for this though, as different combat styles use different stats for getting stronger. Personally, I prefer to use the Puppeteer talent, which meant that I had to work a lot on my life skills, as well as mastering close combat, knight, ninja, and archery. One benefit to mastering other talents is that you do have more skills to utilize in battle, opening up a lot of possibilities for new combos and playstyles. While you are working on increasing your skills, you should also continue to work on your generation questlines. This is also the last step of the Brave Boost questline and can take some time to finish, especially if you find yourself being prone to burnout on story content. Once you have finished the Brave Boost questline, you will be ready to take on Chapter 6, also called the Divine Knights chapter of the storyline. This is where I personally found the story to really kick off, since you get to meet some really great characters and unlock new skills that tie directly into the story, such as Shield of Trust, Divine Link, and Judgment Blade. Around the time you have unlocked Chapter 6, you most likely will have also received a quest called Becoming a Grandmaster. If you have not gotten this quest yet, do not worry, you're very close to it. This is where you can unlock Grandmaster status for your talent, which will increase the stats that your talent provides you, as well as adding a unique effect. It is worth noting that only one unique effect can be active at a time. After completing Generation 19, you will have unlocked your first Crusader Skills. They behave a little bit differently from other skills you've gotten so far, since they have sub-skills that are associated with them. To level up the sub-skills, you will have to earn Crusader XP, which can be obtained from daily or weekly orders fighting Gurgashi and Hasidim, the Alban Knight's Training Ground, which is a dungeon with a modular entrance system to adjust the difficulty, or joining a raid against Hasidim or Zabak, which award Crusader XP each time you defeat them up to a weekly cap. You will also be on track to meet the Beltane special unit. While they aren't necessarily the most important method to getting stronger, they do provide some small stat increases, as well as access to Beltane missions, which can help provide a lot of easier leveling options, small amounts of Crusader XP, and occasionally provide materials for new equipment. By now, you have probably seen other players with a gem-like pattern below their feet. This is most likely from Echostones, a specialized type of equipment that can boost your stats above their hard cap, as well as provide reforge effects for your characters. To get access to Echostones, you must first complete the Nocturne of Wind questline to get access to the dungeon. Every time you complete the dungeon, you get a 7-day timer added to your Echostone tab up to a maximum of 30 days. Echostones can take a while to upgrade, especially if you don't find yourself really enjoying the dungeon, but the benefits you gain from them are quite immense. After you have become acquainted with Echostones, I would suggest turning your attention towards Generation 22, Apocalypse. The reason this generation is so important is because it unlocks the technique system. The technique cards provide a wide range of effects, but are incredibly powerful, including effects like increasing your defenses exponentially, providing a full heal that also adds a temporary health bar, or even making you immune to stun and knockback effects. The next big step forward after unlocking techniques is going to be obtaining the Arcana Talents. These are powerful talents that combine two Grandmaster talents to create something new. The skills you unlock from Arcana don't rank up like your traditional skills would though. As you level up, you gain experience for your Arcana talent, and as you level up the Arcana talent itself, you'll get increased stats, as well as access to new skill ranks. Now that you have gotten an Arcana talent, access to techniques, and became a Grandmaster in a few talents, I would suggest taking a look at the tools you're actively using. The equipment that you got from the Brave Boost questline is quite powerful on its own, but there are better options out there. Do some research and see what the best or most affordable upgrade to your equipment is. At the end of the day, it is your choice as to what equipment you use going forward. After you have obtained some of the equipment that you want, it's time to research how you can improve it. Enchanting can be one of the more expensive processes in Mabinogi, as well as one of the more rewarding. As with looking into gear, the exact enchants you will want are going to depend on what you're using, but I will be putting a couple of common enchant combinations on screen to help you get started. After applying some enchants, I would suggest investing in reforging your item. Reforging is a bit difficult in my opinion, because what effects you get are determined by the item type, and even then, the exact outcome is randomized. However, there are a few tricks you can use to ease the burden. I will be going over some of those in a later video. The final step that I suggest getting into with the current power systems that exist in Mabinogi is called Erg Enrichment. The reason I save this for last is because it's a really expensive endeavor, and it has to be repeated for each individual weapon. So it is best to invest into it once you've decided on some gear that you'll be using long term, and not something you think you're likely to replace going forward. And that will be the end of this video. Please bear in mind that this is less of a guide and more of a recommended order to interact with the different projects for power that Mabinogi has to offer. You can tackle these projects in any order you want to. This was just my suggestion for going about it. Thank you for watching until the end, and let me know in the comments if you think that there's a better way to start the projects than what I had suggested. If you're interested in seeing more content like the deeper dive videos that I have planned for the series, make sure to subscribe.